Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 27th. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, HCC Strategic Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager. Pleased to be joined by my bi-weekly co-host, Dr. Darren Baskin, who's the Interim Officer of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at HCC. Good morning, Darren.
Well, good morning, Sade. We are back at it again and looking good while we're doing it. So look
I would have to agree.
Yes. So we're live here at the HCC Houston Community College District Facebook page and on YouTube. This is not the HCC page. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So please join us whenever you can.
Yes, catch those playbacks in all of those places. For those of you tuning in today, it's Thursday Family Fun Day. We're about to celebrate a special holiday next week that's a big deal south of the border. But also here to talk about that, we will be talking to, we will be talking to Dr. William Nericcio, who's the core and lead faculty of San Diego State University and the creator of Mextasy, a talk and pop-up show, and our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here from sunny San Diego. Actually foggy, but...
Well, it's cloudy over here, but thanks for bringing the sun and the fog. You and Darren are going to have an awesome conversation in just a second. But first, we're going to kick things off with a guest who advises some of our HCC scholars who will be inducted tomorrow into an honor society. Would like to welcome to the show Dr. Nicolas Rangel, who is the director of the Honors College at HCC Central and advisor of Omega Sigma chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. Thanks for joining us on the show, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, for those that may not know this, what those letters really mean, Omega Sigma chapter and Phi Theta Kappa, putting all of that together, what does that mean? I see so many students, as soon as those invitations go out, as soon as they get those letters, they're asking, well, what is Phi Theta Kappa, and should I join, and what are the benefits for anybody who is listening? Give us that brief overview of what this means for students.
Sure, I'm happy to. Phi Theta Kappa is one of the oldest academic honor societies in the world. They like to call themselves the International Honor Society for two-year colleges. In order to be eligible, you have to have a 3.5 GPA and at least 12 hours completed. The chapter here at Houston Community College is the Omega Sigma chapter. There are other colleges in the area that might have an individual chapter per every campus. Here at HCC, every campus and every college simply has the one chapter, Omega Sigma. And there are a number of benefits that students can get. The most noteworthy, or the ones that students tend to find the most beneficial, are the leadership training that we provide. And there's a lot of scholarship opportunities. We are actually partnered with a number of institutions throughout the United States, but because unfortunately most students like to stay in the Houston area, they have some pretty good benefits if they choose to transfer to St. Thomas University or to Houston Christian, formerly Houston Baptist University, in the form of scholarships they simply get for being members of Phi Theta Kappa.
I think the scholarships definitely are that dangling carrot of like, maybe I should go ahead and join. And you have a upcoming induction ceremony coming up, right?
We do. Tomorrow we will have an induction at our Southeast campus. That's the first time we've ever hosted an induction there. As you know, this is a busy time of year at HCC, both in my role as director of the Honors College as an advisor for Phi Theta Kappa. I'm always looking for space for activities, and it was a real struggle. We've typically used the West Loop campus, but I recall using the Learning Hub over at Southeast for an event. I think it was instructional day, and I remember the facility actually being very nice, so I thought it would be nice to sponsor it there. So anyone who's joined this semester or even after our induction period last semester, they're entitled to come. We have a very lovely ceremony where they're recognized for all of their accomplishments.
Awesome. And it's a joke in higher ed, but also camaraderie that we try to do everything in April that we said we were going to do in January. Oh, yeah. It's a busy time of year. Well, on par with the leadership opportunities that you shared, it's my understanding that the students get to travel and go to conferences. So tell us a little bit about those opportunities that students are able to take advantage of.
So we generally have an executive council composed of anywhere from 4 to, I believe the most we've had is 7 officers. And those officers, we're currently in the process of selecting them for the upcoming semester, and we get the jump started immediately. We start working on the summer for our major projects over the course of the semester. If you are an officer in Phi Theta Kappa, you will travel to a number of conferences. We used to have an institute over the summer where they could travel to a major university, but that's since become virtual. So sometime in July, we'll have what's called the Texas Honors Institute. In October, we'll have the Texas Leadership Conference. And then in March, we have the Texas Regional Conference. And the big one for students is Catalyst. That's the International Convention, Phi Theta Kappa. And this year at Catalyst, Chancellor Maldonado was recognized with, I believe it was the Gordon Award. It's probably the leading award Phi Theta Kappa gives to community college administrators.
That is phenomenal. I mean, I feel like I have a boomerang with HCC. I worked part-time, left, came back, and I remember way back. The Honor Society was very, very active. So the leadership that has supported it over the years, very fitting that our institution's leaders would be recognized with a top award. Always good news. And since you are working closely with Dr. Maldonado, I understand that resulted in a pilot project to create video maps of HCC campuses. Tell us about that.
Yes, so one of our officers, Ben Wachakwu, he is a student at HCC Northeast. We every year have to come up with a college project as one of our 2 major projects, a hallmark. So we generally try to collaborate with someone in the administration. As you know, at an institution like HCC, we have a lot of administrators. But this time we went directly to the top. Ben came up with this idea that as a student, it's difficult to find where you are on a campus. We have static maps, but as you know, young people don't rely on static maps. And even you and I are probably getting hooked to GPS and figuring out how to get to places. This was a way for a student to come onto a campus and be able to visually see what it would be like to walk to a particular building so they could find their ways around the campuses.
That is incredible. So were you all able to do it for all the campuses as a part of the pilot, or which ones were selected?
No, we just really worked on a sample of what it would look like at, I want to say it might have been Northeast. Well, it's Northeast because that's Benjamin's home campus. And the visuals actually looked really, really good. But as we understand it, there are other folks at HCC who are working on similar things.
Well, we did just launch a virtual tour. That's why I piqued my interest, but it doesn't go down to the building level. So it was more programmatic. It was more where the campus is located. So I think there's an opportunity to scale. That sounds like a phenomenal opportunity for us to talk about offline. We also talked about conferences and leadership, and you all have been winning awards in addition to the Chancellor being recognized. So let's give a little bragging rights real quick about what you all have received recently.
So we are what's called a 5-star chapter in Phi Theta Kappa. That's meant we've achieved a number of organizational touchstones, which means we are, among the top-rated chapters. Dr. Gisela Abels, who's one of our advisors, and myself were both recognized as Horizon Award winners. I believe this is my 3rd time winning a Horizon Award. That's a recognition for being a major assistant in the function of our region and specifically our district, because we are in the Texas region. The region itself is broken up into multiple districts, and we have been of great assistance to the district. We sponsored our own little mini conference on this campus. And then this is the big award that we received this year. This is the Honors in Action Award of Merit. Our students put together a research project with which they directed a number of interactive student activities, basically wanting to show what the relationship was between play, that was our overall topic that Phi Theta Kappa, every chapter had to address, the role of green space and how green space and play can have a positive effect on stressors that community college students face.
First of all, round of applause. Drop the round of applause in the chat if you are watching online right now. Congratulations, that's phenomenal. I think very timely. We are still technically in Earth Month. So happy to hear that you all are working on like just building the muscle around problem solving. Like that's such a big thing. The capacity for leadership that it sounds like the leaders within the members of Phi Theta Kappa are getting an opportunity to hone. And this wouldn't be possible without the advisors of these chapters. So we want to make sure before we wrap out, you give them a proper shout out.
Yes, my co-advisors, Dr. Gisela Benny-Abels and Dr. Nicole Boutte-Heinelwoma, they have always been phenomenal, and like we have gotten the job done. We are an excellent team. In the past, we've been recognized as a distinguished advising team by both the Phi Theta Kappa state organization and the international organization. We are the straw that stirs the drink that is Phi Theta Kappa. So.
Awesome. And as shared earlier, for those that may just be joining, Phi Theta Kappa will be inducting new members tomorrow, April 28th, at our Southeast campus at 7 p.m. I want to thank Dr. Nicolas Rangel, who is the director of the Honors College at HCC Central and advisor of Omega Sigma chapter of Phi Theta Kappa here at HCC. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have information posted after the show about Phi Theta Kappa if you are wanting to learn more. All right. We're going to head over to our next guest with Darren.
Well, thank you, Sade, and great interview. Phi Theta Kappa has always been a staple here at the college. And so I'm happy to know that we're still going strong and we're still winning awards, because who doesn't like a good award?
Yes, we really do love them.
Yes, very good. But let's talk about another award-winning faculty, I'm told. We're going to move on to Dr. Bill Nericcio. He is the core and lead faculty for the San Diego State University and creator of Mextasy, a talk and art pop-up show, as well as our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Hello, Houston. How are you?
Hey, we are doing good, but I heard you say earlier that welcome to sunny San Diego, and now we're jealous because we're not sunny here right now.
No, I was lying. It's fake news. It's foggy here. The marine layer is all over us. No sun, but it'll be out soon.
Oh, good. And so to set the stage, you will perform your traveling show Mextasy next week at HCC. Congratulations. I'm going to try to get over there. And before we get into those details, why does someone make up a word, and why this word, Mextasy?
Oh, because there's just so much negativity about my gente in mass media. This show accepted, of course, not the HCCTV lineup. But you can't flip on a TV without seeing some criminal, some wanton, salacious lady, who happens to be Latina. And so Mextasy is about the pleasure and the dynamics of being Mexican-American in the United States in the 21st century. And it's about love, it's about positivity, and it's about connectivity, collaboration, and alliance among all us beautiful people of color.
Oh, wow.
So I had to make up the word because it didn't exist. It didn't exist, right? We know the word ecstasy, right?
We do.
It has all those connotations, like sexy connotations, drug connotations, but the word actually comes from the Roman Catholic liturgy. It's that moment in the Mass when you become one with your maker. So it's a spiritual thing. So Mextasy is pleasure, Mextasy is fun, but Mextasy is also about recouping what has been lost to us, Americans of Mexican descent, who are largely kind of erased from American pop culture, unless we got a gun or we're half naked. Not that I'm against half naked, but we got range.
Oh, perfect. That's a great explanation, because it comes down to being able to enjoy your culture and embrace everything that's positive and beautiful and spiritual about the cultures that we all embrace. So I love hearing that. So let's talk about Mextasy, the show. What is it? And let's also jump into Mimo Nericcio, the artist.
All right.
Tell us about that. I know that's your alter ego, and In Houston, we love an alter ego. We have Beyonce, and then we have Sasha Fierce. So we love a good alter ego. So tell us about it.
Well, yeah, Memo, Nericcio, Guillermo, Nericcio Garcia. It's a weird thing. I was born in Mercy Hospital, Laredo, Texas, right? Laredo, the border town. Beautiful Laredo. If I'd been born 10 blocks south, my name wouldn't be William Anthony Nericcio. It would be Guillermo Nericcio Garcia. That's weird that 10 blocks of space changes your whole interaction with the world because names are important. So the show, Mextasy, the exhibition Mextasy, sort of highlights the strangeness of growing up along the U.S.-Mexican border. For instance, let me show you one of the artifacts from the show here. Let me pan around, right? It's one of my ridiculous graphic mashups. Spock revealed as ciphered Chicano. Earth Vulcan lineage turns out to be cover for Mexican-American allegory. Well, the cool thing about Star Trek in the 60s, of course, and that the character of Spock accented, was this idea of mixed lineage. It's 66, 67, 66 with the pilot, 67 with the show. We've got a biracial, bispecies character on national TV. That was a big thing. We also had a black woman, Uhura, who my little boy Billy was very much in love with, right? So the idea that in American culture that we are a mishmash, that we are beautiful mutts, is something that my show and my art wants to foreground. Quick story. The other thing is why I'm Memo Nericcio and not Dr. William Anthony Nericcio, right? Professor of English, which I am. That's my alter ego. When I first got to SDSU, the secretary in my office said, English professors don't have pictures in their syllabi. And I said, what? And she refused to print my syllabi. So I created an alter ego who does the art, and then the English professor who does the scholarship, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you know, that's amazing. I personally love art. You've hit a sweet spot for me, which is Star Trek. I love everything Star Trek. And so this sounds like this is going to be an amazing show. Let me ask you this. Why should HCC students and their friends hang out with you next Thursday morning, May 4th, for the pre-Cinco de Mayo performance?
Well, one, because it's going to be school, and two, it's not going to be boring. Okay. I became a professor because a lot of the stuff that we encounter in schools, and our professors are very talented and our administrators are very talented, but God, sometimes these professors just put you to sleep. My students, the students who come to this show, will not go to sleep. They may not agree with me. They may not even like me, but they're going to exit that room thinking about who Latinos have been in American mass culture, beyond the narcos, beyond the Latina strumpets.
Oh, I love it. I'm all with you on that. I do not like a boring classroom. So I agree with you on that altogether.
Oh, and another thing, I'm going to bring my props. I'm like the Gallagher of I've got Batman. I've got El Dorado, I've got props. So
well, look at you, Bill. You are prop king right now.
Oh God.
You're just pulling out all the stops, and we appreciate that so much. And so I know that the Interdisciplinary Humanities Program is the department that invited you out. So kudos to them for being able to even snag you. And I also know that you were born and raised in Laredo. And so I want you to take about 30 seconds to tell us what it means to be raised in Laredo, and try to do it in 30 seconds.
Cultural schizophrenia, split down the middle, right? You've got Pee Wee Herman on one side, you've got El Chavo del Ocho on the other side. You've got Lucha Libre, and you've got World Federation of Wrestling, and you are split, and you desire all of it all at once, and it makes you crazy culturally beautiful.
Oh man, that sounds like the place to have grown up. Because I didn't really get a good understanding of what it meant to be a Mexican wrestler until I started to really research the back of it, the backstories. And so it was amazing because I grew up watching WWE. And so to then understand what it meant in the culture, the Chicano culture, the Mexican culture, what it meant to have that, it was just mind-opening to me. So I can appreciate that so much. So let me ask you this question. I hear that you are not only an English professor, you're also a writer, and you have some new books coming out. Tell us about those books.
I do. A book of mine just came out. I'm sold out of it right now, so I don't even have any prop for you. Disappointment, I know, but it's called Talking Brown TV, and I co-wrote it with Fede Aldama from the University of Texas at Austin, a good friend of mine. And what we looked at was 100 years of Mexicans and Latinos in American television, with a little bit of cinema and a little bit of comic books also, because we're both obsessed with telling the story of the graphic legacy of Latinos in the United States. This is probably my most famous book. It's called Tex-Mex, Seductive Hallucinations of the Mexican in America, which is a book on stereotypes. If you've ever seen a scary Mexican, well, I'm going to break it down for you. Speedy Gonzalez, Rita Hayworth, Lupe Velez, they're all in the book. And last, I guess, my most recent critical anthology is Cultural Studies in the Digital Age, which is an anthology of short critical works on all kinds of cultural phenomena, including video games, film, television, and the novel.
Oh, Bill, look, you're hitting my sweet spots. You're hitting me where I love to be hit. So I'm telling you right up front, I'm going to need a signed copy of that book because that is on my list of books to read. I need that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So it has been my pleasure. I so much appreciate someone who just throws themselves and immerses themselves in their cultures. That's a part of who we are, like you said, as individuals, and it should be able to be celebrated and discussed and talked about and loved. So I appreciate the work that you're doing. And so thank you, Dr. Bill Nericcio, core and lead faculty for the San Diego State University and creator of my new favorite word, Mextasy, a talk and art pop-up show, as well as our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. We'll have your info in our post after the show. Bill, my pleasure.
Darren, it was great working with you. Take care.
Thank you.
You know what? That needed to come with a warning. That energy was special. I busted out laughing when he explained Laredo. I feel like I was there.
Hey, I love it. I love that. I grew up wrestling. I grew up watching wrestling, Sade. So it's amazing.
Everybody within older, I feel like the geriatric millennials, the Gen X, that was the thing. That was, if you were a girl who didn't watch wrestling, you knew you couldn't get to TV that night because that was
exactly.
Flashback to my brothers. I can't say I ever got back into it, but yeah, definitely. Great interview. Sounds like an awesome opportunity for our students to check out. Well, that was quite the announcement he gave about those opportunities, but we do have some announcements around the college, and we'll kick things off with system-wide jury student exhibition that is going on for spring. This district-wide in-person exhibition features students at Spring Branch, Katy, and A-Leaf, juried in design, drawing, painting, sculpture, and digital media. It'll be going on through May 5th, and you'll be able to check it out at HCC's Spring Branch main building, the gallery. Entry is free, no fee. It'll be free. And there will be a reception and award ceremony 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. today, Thursday, April 27. Registration is not required to go to the gallery, and everyone is welcome.
Oh, that's great. Like I mentioned to Bill, I love artwork. I love a good piece of art. So that sounds exciting. However, let me say this because I think it's just as important. The registration fair ends today at the HCC Southeast campus. The summer registration fair, where you could have registered to win a $500 scholarship, ends today. It ends at noon. You have 1 hour and 36 minutes to get there. Today, Thursday, April 27th, it's going to be at the HCC Southeast East Side campus in the Angela Morales building. We'll have the link to register in our post after the show.
All right, moving on to one of your favorite topics again, around the arts. We'll have Central Dance Concert, the Central Campus Dance Concert for Spring 2023. It'll feature dance works from faculty and guest artists, all under the direction of HCC's dance coordinator, Maggie Lasher. It'll happen 7:30 Thursday and Friday, April 27th, so today and tomorrow at HCC Central's Heinen Theater. Be sure to check out the details after the show.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you're hitting my sweet spots. That's what I love. So the Instrumental Ensemble Concert, which is for Spring 2023, will be performing the Media, Performing Arts, and Visual Arts Center of Excellence will host the Spring Instrumental Ensemble Concert next week from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Tuesday, May 2nd. And guess what, Sade?
It's free.
It's free. Yes. At the HCC Central Heinen Theater. Please join them. Registration is not necessary and everyone is welcome.
Yes, and everyone, we are calling all future HCC Eagles to attend our virtual information sessions. If you've ever wondered, man, I don't know what my next step is. I kind of just need someone to walk me through. I saw it on the website, but I need a little one-on-one to kind of tell me in a group setting what my next steps can be, so I know what I need to do to get enrolled in time for spring, for summer or fall. Check out these virtual information sessions that'll be held twice a month to help you get registered. And our HCC admissions advising team will assist students to apply, secure all eligible financial aid, decide on your education pathway, and connect with other student support services. Be sure to check out the posts and social media for details about the event on how to register.
Yeah, and Sade, I am so happy that you said all future Eagles. We are excited to welcome all of our new students, whether you are going to be face-to-face, if you're going to be online, if you're going to be hybrid, we want you to come and be an Eagle with us. And so that leads us to fall registration. Fall registration is open. Yes, fall registration has begun. But you can still register for summer, of course, until the classes close. So hurry up to secure your courses, professors, or locations. All classes will be offered in person and online options, which then tells us that we have multiple different formats for our classes. We have online anytime, which is no established class meeting time. We have online on a schedule, which is the meeting time is set and the course material is online. We have hybrid. You meet partially face-to-face and partially virtual. And of course, we have the traditional in-person, which is the face-to-face courses that meet at a designated time and location. And then, of course, we have our hybrid labs, which are our laboratory and studio courses. And to learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, please log into hccs.edu/apply.
All right, fall and summer registration open. Looking ahead, we will have Friday Film Day tomorrow, which will feature Swamp Summer Camp for kids. So all parents need to tune into that. And next week we'll feature Vast Academy, which is holding its inspirational graduation tomorrow. We'll also launch in May with our usual special guest, Mental Health Monday and Tasty Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.